Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Consider this the fourth part of my three-part series on what our family does for Christmas. After I did the first three videos, I realized that I kind of skipped over all the stuff we do that is specifically Catholic. And I don't know why I did that, but now it gives me the opportunity to dedicate a post just to that. So I'm filming this video in front of our home crucifix. It's called a San Damiano crucifix, and I really love the history of that cross. I love how it looks. It has you Google it, there's a whole story to all the people that are painted. It's in a very busy place in my house. In front of me is a hallway that leads to our bedroom, and on my left is our front door. So it's the first thing I see when I get up in the morning, when I come in the kitchen, and it's the first thing you see when you come into our house, which is a great way to remember to do your prayers and to keep Christ as the center of your home. And also it's a great, in the context of this video, it means we'll probably hear a whole bunch of noise. So what our family does for Christmas. We really try to keep all our Christmas traditions really simple because I'm really not that good at keeping up with them. Basically, sometimes, you know, we put a lot of expectations on our shoulders as mothers, and then we're our own worst enemy. So I try hard not to be that, at least not in our traditions. I try for them to, especially the traditions that are related to our faith, right? Because I really want faith to be a source of warmth in my family. I don't want my children to remember the way we lived our faith as a family as this thing that made mommy turn into a witch, basically. And so for me, how that translates is that I try to keep our traditions and our expectations kind of low profile so that we were able to keep them up even the year I had the twins, or even this year where I'm not very healthy, or even the year when we moved. We're able to keep up with these traditions because they're quite simple. So the first thing that we do in December is that we mark the feast of Saint Nicholas. So Saint Nicholas was a Catholic bishop that lives in the 4th century and in what is now the southern coast of Turkey. And this was a period of time when Christians were persecuted. And so in a way to help his people in such a way that did not attract attention on these families who would be persecuted in return, he would anonymously leave money. And so there's a tradition of leaving your shoes out by the door or by the chimney for St. Nicholas to leave a present in them. That when people dropped money into, when St. Nicholas dropped money through the window and anonymously, sometimes it fell in the shoes. And so I'm not sure to what extent this is accurate, but this is where the tradition comes from. And so then on the Feast of St. Nicholas, which is on December 6th, my tradition has been to give the children a bit of a religious item, you know, but this year I gave them all chocolate. So why? I don't know. I was at Shoppers, I saw the chocolate oranges, I'm like, Feast of St. Nicholas, everybody gets an orange. Now you're asking, what about Santa? Because if you celebrate St. Nicholas, then on the 6th, then what it means about Santa on the 25th, is that a conflict, Well, let me explain to you. You may not want your children to listen to that. Our family doesn't really do the Santa thing. So what we celebrate, when we celebrate the Feast of St. Nicholas, when we celebrate the generosity of Nicholas towards his flock, what we celebrate is how St. Nicholas extended the love of Christ to his believers, right? And so when we give gifts, this is to, our generosity is how we remind each other of God's generous love for us through gifts. I mean, it's a token, right? Better than nothing. We do what we can. when we have this story where Santa brings gifts anonymously, basically, to all the children, what I find is that it removes that personal connection between the giver and the receiver. I'm not a Santa hater. It's just not something we encourage our children to believe. It's just I much prefer them knowing that we're buying things for them. We're trying to find gifts that are pleasing to them. Not to say it's impossible to do if you believe in Santa. We just don't. We usually go to church on Christmas Eve in the evening, so not midnight. I got 9 kids. It's usually like a late afternoon, early evening mass around 4 or 5. That's Christmas Eve. Now, that's something where my children and I don't see eye to eye. My most ardent desire would be to skip Christmas Eve mass by all means and go on Christmas morning, you know, because on Christmas morning, there are pews available, you know, you don't need to get there an hour before. And then the people who show up at Christmas morning mass are the same people who show up to Sunday mass throughout the year, oddly enough, right? And so what I find is that in terms of celebrating the birth of Christ with my faith family and my faith community, I find that Christmas mornings where it's at. But the kids say, well, yeah, but then we unwrap our gifts and then we have to rush out to mass and rah, rah, rah. So we've been doing Christmas Eve and it's a zoo and it's a mortification, let's put it this way. So we go to mass on Christmas Eve and then when we come home, we have a bit of a snack and, you know, we have bubbly fruit juice and we eat appetizers and if you followed my previous video, like we've just trimmed our tree, our Christmas tree is just in the house, so you know we still have fun decorating the Christmas tree. We also try to burn something. We love to have a fire and we like to roast marshmallows, and when we were in the city we did it over the barbecue. In the country we just have a campfire outside where we grilled marshmallow, we put the baby to bed, and then everybody who's of age goes out and we burn stuff basically. And then on Christmas morning, that's when the children unwrap the gifts, and then we celebrate with my family one year or my husband's family the alternating year. And yes, so that's the Christmas Day. There's always a lot of food and we see family, and it's really great. I really enjoy our Christmas festivities with our families. On January 1st, this is the feast of Mary, Mother of God, and it's also the birthday of our daughter Marie. So her name was picked before she was born, and she was born on the feast of Mary, Mother of God. And so we go to mass and we have a birthday party and a celebration on January 1st. It's really a day I really enjoy because we have a birthday and it's just a lot of fun. And then finally it's the Epiphany. So we always celebrate the Epiphany with the traditional galette des rois, where there's a something hidden in it. It depends, like a little rock or a little clay statuette or something like that, porcelain, and then the person who finds it is the Magi that gets a crown. So that's the Epiphany, and usually we go back to school right after Epiphany, so that's when the celebrations come to a screeching halt and we re-embrace the normal. But in the Catholic Church, the Christmas season is not done until the following week, which is the Feast of the Baptism of the Lord. So, you know, if you can squeeze in another party in there, that's always a good thing. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you again on my channel. Thank you.